Hi, this is Rick Brandenburg for Turf Bugs and Rock and Roll. And for those of you who watch these videos over the last 5 or so years, I talk a lot about record keeping. And much of what I talk about is record keeping as it relates to pest distribution, pest occurrence, product performance. And we know that in the case of pests, they may not necessarily be throughout your golf course or sod farm or sports turf or even in neighborhoods where you've got lawn care business. They can be very sporadic and show up in certain areas. More commonly, if you keep good records, you can really target your control strategies toward those areas. You get good control and you do it very cost effectively. In the case of where preventive treatments are needed, you can make sure you're only applying those preventive treatments in areas that are high risk or prone to have a problem. So record keeping is really, really important. Also assessing how well products work. That really helps you when the spring comes around to be reminded of when and where and how you need to go about doing business. But I want to talk a little bit about a different kind of record keeping. In the past, I've talked about it relative to my old 62 Farmall that I have that was my dad's. And I really talked about the records that he kept. And he had a book that he kept, and it's just a neat thing for me to have at this point. And it even goes to the bill of sale in April of 1962 when he first bought it. And it just goes through, and even in the repair manual and the specifics, he's got notes he wrote in the margins to really help me out once I took over this tractor. So when I talk about this tractor and the records that my dad kept, I go towards the back here, and there's just page after page of handwritten notes about problems that he had. And over the 50 years that he owned this tractor, almost everything that could happen probably happened, and he dealt with it. Has every single oil change written down. And while he did this for his own help and his own to help him solve problems, he really kind of paid it forward to me. And I look at this and I see in 2001 the sediment bowl screen got plugged, and so he's got information here saying why he thought it happened, and then the intervals that in his mind, based on his experience, that it ought to be clean. So there's just a ton of information in here that is incredibly useful to me to make sure I can keep this thing running well. I don't waste a lot of time. I can do it cost effectively. And it covers basically 50 years all the way up to 2010, the last time he changed oil before his health started to decline. So this is invaluable. And other things he took for the belly mower that goes with this. He made these little instruments that are helpful for me. And you put them under the housing. You lock them against the blade, so when you go to change the blade, you loosen them. You've got a stop here, and it's got the end that goes against the blade. It's got the end that goes against the housing for the center blade, for the blades on the outside. So number one, it helps me do that job quickly and efficiently. I didn't have to make my own. He paid it forward. And there's a lot of value in that as we think about the things that we've learned and passing that on to our assistants, to the people that work for us, of helping them learn from our experience and making them efficient and making them the next generation that can really do things well. So record keeping is incredibly important in all aspects of what we do in the turf industry, regardless of your vocation. So just keep it in mind and think about when you're keeping good notes, you're not only making your life better and easier and making you better at what you do, but you're indeed paying it forward for the next generation to make sure they can take your experience and apply it and be the best that they can be. Hope that helps. Look forward to seeing you again soon.